Welcome to Lone Star Vets with Rob Paiva, United States Navy veteran and program manager for the Lone Star Veterans Association in Houston. Lone Star Vets is a program by vets for vets and about empowering veterans for a successful post-military life. Call in today at 866-357-1070. That's 866-357-1070. Now let's join Rob.
Well, good Sunday evening, everyone. It's, again, the Lone Star Vet Show, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock here on AM 1070. I'm Rob Paiva, your host, and we're glad that you're joining us again. Got a great show lined up for you guys today. Got a couple of special items. We have our guest who's joining us in the studio today, Carlos Cigar Man Garcia. Carlos is the founder behind a really cool event that's called Cigar Nights for Vets. And it has been spreading around the state of Texas rather quickly, and I wouldn't be surprised if we came back and visited this time next year. That would probably be in quite a few other cities as well. And then I also have a special guest host with me today, Mr. Brandon Doc Buttry.
Hey, Raw.
Hey, Doc, welcome back to the show. Now, you're on just a couple weeks ago as a guest, but I have you here today as a guest host, partially because, hey, in a couple of weeks in August, I'm going to be out of town, and somebody's got to keep the show running.
I thought it was because I was awesome, man.
Well, yeah, that part, too.
Okay.
I haven't gotten my
Pretty
check
awesome
in the mail
memo,
yet,
man.
but yeah, it's
Really good at
awesome as
prostate
well.
checks.
No, but seriously, yeah, thanks for coming and joining us, Doc. And Carlos, hey, if you ever feel like just jumping on anything, feel free to do so. I know you're right here in the studio, and welcome.
Oh, pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me out.
Absolutely. All right, before we get started, let me just do a quick roundabout of some things real quick, announcing some events. Stacking up this show. Okay, now, this first month, we've got it behind us. This is show number 6. I want to start letting you guys know ahead of time of what we have coming up, other than today's outstanding show. So looking forward next week. Now, I know it's July 4th weekend. You guys still need to tune in. I don't care where you are. We have smartphone apps. We have the ability to listen through the website, so you can listen to us no matter where you go. But we're going to have the Top Gun 3 benefit that's being sponsored and hosted every year by the Texas Gulf Coast chapter of the U.S. Naval Academy Alumni Association. That's a big title. But in any event, it's a great event, guys. The Top Gun takes place July 8th, which is a week from Saturday, so we've got 6 days until it takes off. It's going to be at Wakefield Crowbar there in the Garden Oaks Heights area. I believe everything gets started at noon. Of course, I have the article ready to be looked at, but I didn't actually pull it up. No, I take this back. Yes, it's $12 to attend. July 9th, it actually starts at 4, so 4 o'clock until 9 o'clock out at Wakefield Crowbar, which is 954 Wakefield Drive. Now, I am going to have the 3 representatives from the Naval Academy join me next week, and knowing 2 of the guys that are going to be joining me, they're quite a hoot, and I think we're going to have one person who's going to hold the leash. But in the event... yeah.
Oh, wait, he's dead.
Yeah. The Naval Academy guys will be joining us, and I swear we'll make this a fun show. The following weekend, July 10th. Now, this is a big deal that's going on here in Houston, Texas, and I'm really excited to talk about this one. It's John Borsler. He is the executive director of Next Stop here in town, which focuses on getting jobs for veterans. And he's been the driving force behind this, what we call the Combined Arms Coalition. And it's huge. I don't want to take too much thunder away from John, but nonetheless, it's a fantastic organization. John was original executive director for Lone Star Veterans Association back in the day. And in any event, he's probably one of the top leaders in the Houston veterans community. Following that, July 17th, we're going to have Chris Blanco joining me with the Adaptive Construction Solutions. It's a new company here in town, also all employment-based, focusing on iron workers, and it's paid training and certification that goes along with job placement. So if you're out there looking for jobs today, those of you that are out there, please pay attention and tune in on the 17th. After that, we've got July 24th. I've got Nick Tran, the Veteran Whisperer. Very cool. I'm going to be releasing his teaser video out on social media here shortly, so you guys keep an eye out for that. And then to follow out the final weekend in July is Monique Rodriguez with Grace After Fire, U.S. Women Veterans Assistance. So this is for you ladies that are out there listening in, all our sisters in arms, fellow veterans that are not the dudes. It's your show to listen in. It's your show to contribute and participate in. So I hope you guys will tune in. All right. They've got a couple of other things. All right. I've been wanting to kind of break up this early segment. I'm not naturally a funny guy, so I have to lean on some things. Doc over here, he's a funny guy, and that's one reason why I like him having him in the booth here with me. But I figured, just to try to make things a little looser, I'm going to start off with a military joke of the week. All right, so just bear with me.
This is a dad joke or
it's
uncle joke.
I hope not. I don't know. I'm not a funny guy.
This better be funny.
Oh yeah, you tell me after this. All right. All right. So here it goes. The reason the Air Force, Army, Navy, and veterans bicker amongst themselves, that's a nice word to use, bicker, amongst themselves, is that they don't speak the same language. For instance, take the simple phrase, secure the building. The Army will post guards around the place. The Navy will turn out the lights and lock the doors. The Marines will kill everybody inside and set up a headquarters. The Air Force will take out a 5-year lease with an option to buy. Must have been a dad joke.
Yeah, that was.
I don't want to comment,
It was a fast delivery. There wasn't really a slowdown time for the punch, so.
Well, next time I'm going to let you tell the jokes.
Yeah. Okay. How about I brush on top of that? Can I share a little segment?
Let's hear it.
So you were talking about lingo.
Uh-huh.
All right. And before I came here, I had to go to the head real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm not going to make it. Anyways, there was a time when I was stationed in California, and me and my buddies were getting ready to go out, and when we hit the town, we accidentally went to a biker bar that was a predominantly lesbian bar.
Oh, the Blue Oyster.
I cannot remember what. You would know more than I. But I'm like, you know what? I'm here. Let me go to the bathroom real quick, break the seal, and then let's roll out. So what's the first thing I say? A whole room full of ladies. Where's the head at? And they all looked at me like, who do you think you are?
There's the door, young man.
So
see yourself out of it.
That's where that nice little lingo doesn't mix well in a public area.
Well, I'm sure you were cordial and you were kindly escorted out of the place quickly and as soon as possible.
It took 10 of them. Ladies.
I'm sure 10 means 2, but in any event. All right. Last thing as we're going through. Okay, let's get the segment back on. Listen, there is on the Wednesday, the 29th at 1 p.m., held at the Metropolitan Multi-Service Center on 1475 West Gray Street here in Midtown, the Vietnam 50th Anniversary Commemoration Event. It's being hosted by the City of Houston Office of Veteran Affairs, our good friend Carl Salazar, who will be on this show in the month of August. I think, Carl, if you're listening, I apologize. I know we set a date for the most part, or talked about setting a date, so I'm hoping that it was still in the talking. But in any event, come out. It's 50th Anniversary Commemoration for the Vietnam War, and that's going to be, again, Wednesday, June 29th, 1 p.m. at the Metropolitan Multi-Service Center. And for attendees are asked to RSVP via email, which is COHOVA, COHOVA, at Houston Tex. That's HoustonTX.gov. Or you can call in by phone at 832-393-0992. Guys, we'll get this information out on social media for the Lone Star Vet Show, so just stay tuned if you want to get that information back later. Other than that, hey, so Doc, you were a little late coming in today.
I explained that.
Yeah. Well, that was the first part. What was the other part? You had family dinner go long.
Yeah, it was a family dinner, but then traveling down 290, which is a lovely road.
There you go. Yeah.
That is so close to being finished in construction. That's what I believe anyway. It was a disaster even on a Sunday.
Yeah. So if you had to give a traffic report, pretty much it's if you're traveling southbound on 290, avoid it like the plague.
Yeah, they've completely shut off the I-10 or the 610 loop intersection there. You have to go to I-10, loop around at some other place, and you can tell all the people that had no idea where they were going or didn't have the MapQuest, or it's not, nobody uses MapQuest anymore.
Google Maps.
They're Google Maps, and all over the place. I'm just trying to get here, but it worked out. It's such a mess. And do I pay the tolls and get here a little bit quicker? Yeah. Even though my Easy Tag needs to be fixed. But, It's a lot better that way. So
Well, good deal. All right, so we've got about 60 seconds before we have to take our first break. Again, we have a guest today, Carlos Cigar Man Garcia. Guys, look him up on the internet. This is a wonderful
I don't know if you want to do that.
That started.
Don't Google my name.
Don't Google your name?
Who knows what comes out, right?
Right, but I will say that you can actually look you up, www.cn4v.org.
That is correct.
And that's the website. Hey, everyone, go take a look at it, especially if you're a veteran. If you're looking for something to do on a Thursday evening, we're in 3 different, I say we, because I attend at least one of the 3. I attend the Houston one, but it's the 3rd Thursday of the month. And when we come back, we're gonna sit down with Carlos, and we're gonna get the history. We're gonna get the background. We're gonna find out a little bit more about him and where this wonderful idea came. Because from what I've seen so far, and Brandon, Doc, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's actually it's an event that really reaches out.
Yeah, it's a solid brotherhood, man. People come out. It's great.
All right, so when we come back, please tune in. We'll talk to Cigar Man Garcia. Coming back.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-917-8611. 800-917-8611. 800-917-8611. Again, 800-917-8611.
Are you living with pain? I was, after a nasty fall. I got relief with 1 Hour Pain Relief. I'm Barry Yarconi, president, and here's Lisa, a Marine who was injured in Iraq.
After surviving an explosion, I was on horrible painkillers for lingering head, shoulder, back, and knee pain, but I hated the dangers and side effects. My friend told me about 1 Hour Pain Relief, and now I'm off the drugs.
1 Hour Pain Relief is the result of 15 years of research on an amazing extract from hops, the plant used to flavor beer.
Whether your pain is from an injury or just aging, you get safe, all-day relief in less than 1 hour.
We're so sure you'll love 1 Hour Pain Relief too that we'll send you a 1-week trial for just a small shipping charge. Call 800-269-4200 right now. That's 800-269-4200. There's no gimmicks, no obligation, no automatic shipments. Stop living with pain. Call 800-269-4200 for your 1-week trial or visit onehourpainrelief.com. That's 800-269-4200.
Do you worry the stock market is a house of cards? If you're retired or retiring soon and can't afford to lose 30 to 50% in a stock market crash, protect yourself now.
This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
7 p.m. Tuesday, Courtyard by Marriott Katy. 7 p.m. Wednesday, Hilton Garden Inn, Pearland. 7 p.m. Thursday, Hyatt Place, The Woodlands. Or 7 p.m. Thursday, July 7th, Hilton Garden Inn, Sugarland. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
Bill Bennett here to tell you about Augusta Precious Metals. What if you could store your IRA or 401k where you can see, touch, and hold it in person in the form of physical gold and silver coins? I know I would, and you can't do that with stocks. With the Augusta Gold and Silver IRA, you can transfer retirement savings into physical coins and store them where you can actually see them. Free shipping, zero management fees, and Augusta pays all upfront costs. Getting started is absolutely free. Rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau, enjoys a 98% 5-star customer satisfaction rating with TrustLink.org. Trust Augusta. Call toll-free 1-855-222-5882 now for your free guide to Augusta Gold IRAs. Call toll-free 1-855-222-5882. That's 1-855-222-5882. Or visit AugustaPreciousMetals.com.
When modern medicine embraces the power of the Lord, wondrous things can happen. At Apostle Home Healthcare, our faith-based approach to in-home care welcomes the Lord into the work our nurses and therapists perform for seniors recovering from surgery or illness. Apostles' services are covered 100% by Medicare, and the Lord's grace is always freely given. Visit ApostleHomeHealthcare.com to find out more. Apostle Home Healthcare, where prayer and Medicare make all things possible.
AM 1070, The Answer.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will.
Oh, yeah, this is a great song. Hey, Carlos, I know you're getting a kick out of all these Top Gun songs. Well, you know, when you're a Cold War veteran like I am, you know, there's it's the little things like this in life that that make it all special. So glad you guys are enjoying it. So, everyone, thanks for coming back and joining us again. This is Rob Hiva, your host. This is the Lone Star Vets Show. It is for veterans, by veterans, and it's all about empowering our veterans. We're here to bring you stories each and every week, to bring you people each and every week from our veteran community that are inspiring, motivating, and empowering. And today's guest is a gentleman who I've been wanting to get on the show since we first came up with the concept of this idea, because I'm such a fan of this event that he holds. It's now actually gone from an event to a movement to an organization, and it's called the Cigar Night for Vets. And as I found out today, I thought it was only about a year old, but you said you've been doing it for about 3 years. So, Carlos Cigar Man Garcia, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. And let's hear a little bit about Cigar Night.
Well, it's almost 3 years old now. Mm-hmm. I started in October 2013.
Okay.
And I think it was about how it all got started was basically we all know I like whiskey here, so whiskey and cigar. So I was out there grilling some ribs, which, by the way, I did make the best ribs in Texas. So I will put that out there.
Yeah, they are some pretty darn good ribs.
I see you looking at me, Doc, but challenge me.
Why don't you make it your job?
So yeah, I'm sitting there, and I tell you what, I thought about the smoke pits, in Iraq or Afghanistan, depending on where you're deployed, and those times were just being used to basically decompress.
Right.
For that moment, you're away from wherever you're at, and you're talking about home. So I wanted to bring that aspect, that mentality back home. So, in comes Cigar Night. So we did it our first few times. Originally, we were just bringing 2 or 3 people out. For the first 2 years, it was like that, actually.
Okay.
And then it was about February of 2015. 2015.
Yeah.
I had to check the watch on that one. We started getting a bigger pool. The word started getting around, and then next thing you know, here we are. It grew tremendously, and I really think the reason behind that is just the personal touch we put to it. Mm-hmm. That bond and brotherhood you literally do feel when you go there. It's family, and
right.
Everybody that goes there knows that. They know they're a part of family. I say it all the time, but I think that's what's the most important part of that event is we offer that to everybody there that night. Is that family. Mm-hmm. Chance to get away, chance to maybe not talk about home this time, but recollect things that happen overseas. Just be yourself for one night a month, honestly.
Yeah. Well, let's back up a little bit and let's talk about you real quick before we get too much further in on Cigar Nights. Now, from what I remember, you told me that you served in the Army.
Yes, sir.
What year did you join?
2003, August 16th, 2003. And I can't believe I actually remember the date.
It's on that DD-214 in case you ever forget.
Yeah. I was a fat little kid, not really doing anything with my life. I was one of those that it was either go to the military or I'm gonna end up doing something not even worth a dang. So I went in 2003. Went in as a cook. Mm-hmm. Went to Relax in Jackson for basic, which I actually hated basic training there because I spent 2 years in military school and for my Marines out there, the Marine Military Academy in Harlingen, Texas.
In Harlingen, Texas. Hey, that's my hometown.
So I did learn a little about Marine ethics.
Yeah, the old MMA. Did you guys still have to walk to town from?
Oh yeah. They had a bus that went maybe didn't work at all. But yeah, it was hot down there. We had to walk everywhere, and those uniforms stunk when they started smelling.
Oh yeah,
it was bad. Clad was what were they called? Green Charlies or something like that. I know a bunch of people are gonna hate me for getting it wrong, but
the class Charlies.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just running all the way downtown. Yeah.
Yep.
I hated it. But yeah, Harlingen. So anyway, so I entered. I went into basic training. I thought of it more like football camp because it's just I had fun going to basic. What I didn't like about it, I mean, it was it was co-ed and everything. 2003, I guess, is when the Army was getting a little bit with let's catch on people's feelings type thing. So they would have these little sessions in basic training where they would talk about, hey, what do you hate about basic? And then I would listen to all these people complain about, oh, we're always getting up. I'm like, people shut up, man. It's a daggone military. You do know there's a war going on outside. Quit crying, right?
Did you have that card thing?
No. But luckily, it was before that. Thank God. Because come on, this ain't soccer, man.
I heard that, and I'm like, I want to slap whoever made that.
Yeah, I heard a couple people say they had the cards. I couldn't believe that, but
cards.
But yeah, that's
a yellow card. Like if you're you get your feelings hurt, stress card. You get raise that up instead of like going to church and making right with God.
Yeah, no, we had push-ups to snap us out of it.
Beat,
flutter kicks, and
that's right face.
Yeah. So there you were in basic training, and
so I get through basic training, then I go to my IT, as we all know, and then I go to my first duty station, Fort Lewis, Washington.
Oh, nice area.
No, I hate Washington. No, not nice area.
But you had the mountains to look at least.
I guess I was a barracks rat, I was
29 stumps.
I was 23 years old, I was like, I was living a single life out there, not making decisions that meant anything. But it was nice if you took it in. I mean, it was. Sure. I'm sure if I go back now, I definitely would go look at Mount Rainier and all that. But it rained all the time. That's why I didn't like it. It rained constantly.
That's true. Yeah.
And that adds a certain depressive mood to it. But I was there with the 47th Combat Support Hospital. Out of there, we deployed to Tikrit, Iraq, and I think we were there supporting the 101st.
Okay.
We were there from 05, 06. And then I came back, got out in 07, went to reserves from 07 to 2011. I didn't like that idea at all.
Up there?
No, I came back to Fort Meade. Went to Fort Meade. So like 48th Combat Support Hospital, Fort Meade. Because that's where I went into the military, so that's where I went back to.
Okay.
Now the story with that, I go back to a place where I wasn't doing good in the first place,
Right.
So I had friends there, and but I had no family. I had no real connection with anything anymore. So that's what started this whole, issues of coming back and all that. I was on the streets for a little bit. I did make bad decisions. I chose, substance abuse over some.
As a reservist?
I didn't really go to reserve drill for a little bit. There's about a year increment where I didn't go, but I fixed that situation. That's what actually brought me here to Houston, as I went to finish my reserve obligation here in Ellington.
Okay.
And started getting help at the VA here too.
Sure.
So, and then in comes Cigar Nights, where everything started getting better.
Yeah, started clicking.
But I mean, the one thing I missed the most was that family part, and that's what comes from Cigar Night, was that connection, networking. So no matter who you are, you come home, you get that connection.
Sure. Yeah. Well, granted, to your credit, everybody's transition is always a little bit different. Like me, I spun out, and 2 weeks later, I was going into college, and it was such a weird thing. I never even had a chance to stop and think about what else I was going to do next. And it could have been fortunate, I guess, in some people. But a lot of our brothers and sisters that come out, it is a little tough. And especially when you're coming out from being deployed. We did an 11-month deployment that you spent time, and those are difficult life events sometimes. And when you come back out and you're supposed to just automatically re-snap to normal, that doesn't happen. And I think that's exactly one of the reasons why I like this Cigar Night for vets so much, because it's not just for the recent vets coming out; it's for all of us. And what I've noticed is that everybody gets the same thing out of it. All right, guys, we're going to have to part and take another break here. Let our sponsors come out and tell you all about themselves. When we come back, we're going to pick up our conversation again with Carlos Cigar Man Garcia. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
AM 1070, The Answer.
Rejuvenate, be inspired, refresh. Sounds like some realities you want for yourself this year? Then embark this fall on a 15-day all-inclusive Mediterranean cruise of a lifetime with AM 1070 The Answer. Sail the pristine Mediterranean waters with celebrity cruises on the luxurious Silhouette. With thrilling stops in Rome, Naples, Jerusalem, Athens, and more, come experience sights like the magnificent Sistine Chapel, the historic Western Wall of Jerusalem, the beautiful Greek island of Santorini, and more. This is not just a cruise. You will follow in the footsteps of key historical figures and be engrossed in the sights and sounds of the societies that establish what we experience today in government, culture, and faith. Come and visit the extraordinary cities of antiquity, 2,800-year-old ports, and more. on a journey with the interactive vibrancy of faith and culture. Board the footsteps of the Apostles Mediterranean Cruise September the 22nd through October 9th. For more information and to register for this once-in-a-lifetime trip, go to am1070theanswer.com.
Now, I want to tell you a little bit about a company called FN Firearms. FN Firearms is the world's most battle-proven firearms. This is a legacy of legends. Over 100 years ago, the father of modern firearms, John Browning, partnered with FN. I want you to remember this name, FN Firearms, because they changed firearms and the battlefield forever. Now, the majority of small arms used to defend freedom around the world are made by FN. Now, what does this mean for you? Well, the very same genius, craftsmanship, and attention to detail that goes into those firearms goes into FN handguns, like the FNS-9. That's a polymer-framed, striker-fired 9mm pistol. It features ambidextrous controls, a grip angle. Best of all, it puts the DNA of Legends in the palm of your hand. Legends. You can see the full line of FNS handguns at fnamerica.com. fnamerica.com. FN, the world's most battle-proven firearms.
Hey, everyone.
This is Life Tips with Geico.
Life Tip 1. Use a shower squeegee to remove pet fur from carpet.
Squeegee is also very fun to say. Consider it when naming a pet or child.
Life Tip 2. Switch to Geico and you could save hundreds on your car insurance.
With over 75 years of experience and a 97% customer satisfaction rating, they know what they're doing.
Geico. Get savings into your life. Visit geico.com today.
Hey Houston, I'm John Ziegler, and each Sunday night, my co-host Leah Brandon and I get together and we discuss the news of the week and the events of our sometimes strange lives in a way that I promise you will not hear anywhere else on the radio, or else we'll give you your money back, guaranteed. It's informative, it's entertaining, it's provocative, and yes, it's unique. It's the John and Leah Show, Sunday nights, only right here on AM 1070, The Answer.
Sunday nights at 9 on AM 1070. The Answer. The Answer is everywhere. On the internet, on your smartphone, on iTunes, on TuneIn.com, and iHeartRadio. This is AM 1070. The Answer.
You never close your eyes anymore.
Oh, yeah. This song brings back great memories, and I will be honest, and I'm going to tease the Naval Academy guys when they're in with me next week, but yeah, we tried this line a couple of times in the 80s, thinking that it would work at the bars, even though Tom had already added it. Did it work? Never. Not once. But nonetheless, we're A for effort, as my wife texted me about that joke I tried earlier today.
At least you got support.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, who's just now tuning in and listening to us. This is Lone Star Vets. I'm your host, Rob Paiva. This is the Veterans Power Hour, if you will. And joining me today, I've got my special guest host, Brandon Doc Buttrey, president and founder of Counter-Strike Coffee, Navy veteran, corpsman, and our special guest today is Carlos Cigar Man Garcia, United States Army veteran and founder of this event we've been talking about in the earlier segments, Cigar Night for Vets. Now, when we cut away just a second ago for the break, we were talking about, you had just mentioned your transition, and it was kind of a bumpy road. And one of the things I like about this event is that all of us have had various challenges in our transitions, and this event, for whatever reason, seems to have a whole lot of magical power to it, and I think the transition's part of that. And as we went to break, you said that, hey, I'm glad that you kind of pointed that out. So tell me, let's talk about your transition.
Well, I mean, I want to go back to that actual event and why it's like that. Everybody goes through different issues, or what do you call it, coming back home. We all did different things in the military, but whether it be looking for a job, whether it be trying to connect, or trying to look for resources, all that's needed for vets when they come back.
Right.
But the most important thing is also that support that we all had, which is the bond and brotherhood, sisterhood, that type of thing.
The general camaraderie of just us being in the troops with one another.
And at that event, I think that's where it starts. We build that first, and then everything comes with that. Because, I mean, you look at the people that we have come out, they got job opportunities, training available.
Right.
All that is there, but in a very informal, nonchalant way. Like, we're not throwing it in your face. We're telling you to connect, network, and see who's out here, see who's doing things. But at the same time, guess what? Come out and be yourself, Come relax. Come, see what's out there. So I think that's what helps about it. And it's just so neutral. It's a neutral, informal way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a conversation, that needs to be started, and it starts there.
Well, let me ask you a question. So, when you went into the service, did you find it difficult to transition into the service?
No.
Some people have a hard time with that.
Well, I think that's on back. I mean, I was raised with 2 FBI agents and went to military school. I mean, I have that part. Yeah. I mean, that was easy for me.
They a lot of them like, I'm going to get tattoos. I'm still going to do drugs. What the thing when I was in was a spice. I
don't know what that is.
It totally blew my mind. Guys are like freaking out on it. Anyways, so some can't let go of that. They don't want to be told what to do. They just gripe about it nonstop. Then it's time for them to get out, and then they miss it. So your difficulty was your transition out.
Yeah.
Okay. You spent time as a reservist, and you took yourself down a hole. You know what this reminds me of? When you let go of that perfect lady. You have that perfect lady, and you're like,
the
you know
one
what?
hot cheerleader girlfriend.
Yeah,
right?
you know what? I don't need you anymore. And then about 3 weeks later, you start crying like, I loved her so much. Oh, please talk to me.
Start looking her up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Facebook stalking her.
Take
and
me
stuff.
back.
But then what happens? When you tried to go back in, and you're a reservist, and then like now there's some issues that you had. What do these guys do after they lose that woman? They spiral downwards. They drink. Going down the tubes. But their brotherhood brings them back up. Either a family member, a friend, their shipmate, devil dog, whoever, some motivator comes up. It's like, oh, there. You're gonna be okay. There's plenty of fish in the sea. And that's kind of like where you took things. And I think that's great because there's so many individuals out there that feel like they get left alone. There's no one. I am out of that brotherhood, and there's nothing left. And that's when you spiral. And of course, drinking that's a depressant. It's going to make everything a lot worse. There's no coping. So I think it's awesome, man. Like that, and then, the big thing that I have is one person tell another person to have accountability for everybody. So, getting that out there and using this, I think it's super awesome.
I think the one thing I've taken away from this is people just saying, coming to me saying, I thought I was the only one that thought about whatever, things. And it astonishes me that people are like that they thought they're the only one going through all that. But then again, we really don't realize how some of us just close off. Mm-hmm. And so we're trying to bring them out to this event to, like I said, start that conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Well, attending it, the whole purpose of this event comes to light. But what I like about what you've put on your website here, it says Cigar Night for Vets celebrates the bond between heroic men and valiant women who served and always have each other's backs. In other words, so we served, and that time came to an end. But our dedication, our service to one another, our having each other's backs never does. And I think that's something that when we get out, we end up finding for ourselves. And this is one of those events that does it. Okay, guys, we have to take another quick break. Pay the bills, so to speak. And when we come back, we'll finish up here with Carlos the Cigar Man Garcia and my special guest host, Doc Buttrey.
Friggin' raw.
I'm not a genius about money. I love my credit cards, and they love me. I was using them as a source of income, and then I got behind in my payments, and creditors were calling. I heard about Trinity, so I called and talked to a counselor. Now I've got one easy monthly payment, a lower interest rate, and I'm getting out of debt.
If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976.
The only place to buy a mattress and sleep great tonight is Gallery Furniture, home of a tremendous selection of Macapedic and Tempur-Pedic sleep sets. The only place to buy a mattress is Gallery Furniture. Why? Pick the winning party of the presidential election November 2016. If your party wins, you buy a mattress $2,000 or higher at Gallery Furniture right now. Your mattress purchase is free. Your Macapedic or Tempur-Pedic mattress, $2,000 or better. If you pick the winning party, is free. Only place to buy a mattress and sleep great tonight. Gallery, deliver today.
Hi, this is Sam Malone for Ability Tree Experts. The best, Louis Flory, great friend of mine.
licensed arborist, third generation in the family, over 30 years taking care of trees. That's what they do. Ability Tree Experts, they make sure your trees are properly pruned, make sure the upper canopy's cleaned out. They also make sure that there's no insect or disease problems on your trees because they are valuable. They are beautiful, very expensive to replace. And a tree can be in distress for several months. You'd never know. But you know what? Lewis knows. Call 281-441-4179. That's the number I call. I'm a customer. Or go online. Ability Tree Experts website is abilitytrees.com. You get a free feeding with every tree pruned. And you know what? You never know when the next storm's going to hit. So get those trees professionally pruned by Ability Tree Experts, Houston's leading tree care professional. Online, abilitytrees.com. abilitytrees.com.
Writing a Christian book, you're doing an amazing thing, getting it all down on paper. But once you've got the manuscript, then what? Well, you can spend a year or more trying to find a publisher, or you can cut right to the chase. Make your book real with Zulon Press. Finding a publisher is time-consuming and uncertain. With Zulon Press, things are quick and definite. They specialize in one thing, helping Christian authors put their books in print. Zulon Press will publish your book. Zulon Press gets it into bookstores. Your book is on Amazon. Work with Zulon Press and there's no question, you are a published author. If you're writing a Christian book, get your free publishing guide from Zulon Press. Just log on to ChristianPublishing.com. That's ChristianPublishing.com. Zulon Press. Book publishing by Christians for Christians. Get your free publishing guide at ChristianPublishing.com. Zulon Press is a division of Salem Communications, the same people who bring you this nifty radio station.
Mike Gallagher is looking for a united GOP to take on Hillary.
If Paul Ryan, if all these squishy, timid Republicans, the NRA, some fair-minded media types, if any of those factions would be in Donald Trump's corner, maybe he'd be up by 10 points right now. Who knows? Who knows? Democrats have no trouble uniting.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekday mornings at 10, right before Dennis Prager at noon on AM 1070. The Answer.
Oh, sing it, Toby Keith. Who knew that he was in the Top Gun stereo, or what is it? The 8-track, whatever. Having difficulty.
Soundtrack?
Soundtrack, there we go.
What the hell's an
8-track?
Nobody
You
knows
took
what
it
that
back,
is.
man.
8-track.
Jesus.
Hey, what? You guys don't remember those in the car? You had the 4
okay.
tracks?
First Police Academy, now 8-tracks.
Hey, I did not say the Police Academy line on air. That was on break. Thanks for outing me now, Carlos. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning back in. And if you're just now joining us, this is the Lone Star Vets Show. I'm your host, Rob Paiva, and I've got here with me today Brandon Doc Buttry joining me to help carry the load. And then our special guest is Carlos Cigar Man Garcia, and one of the kindest but most intimidating looking fellows you'll ever run across.
He's a teddy bear.
It's the beard.
It's the beard. Yeah, it's the battle beards.
He's huggable.
Yeah, if I could grow one, I totally would. And the tats. Clearly, I'm behind on the tattoos.
You gotta have the tattoos, man.
Yeah.
Well, telling that 8-track joke, I don't think they had tattoos back then.
I don't think they had them back then, or you still had to get them by hammer and needle, right? All right. Thanks for joining us back. Hey, and if anybody wants to call in while we've got Carlos here, and you guys want to know more information about Cigar Nights for Vets, you can call in at our toll-free number, 866-357-1070. Again, that's 866-357-1070 here joining at the Lone Star Vets. Now, back to the topic at hand, gentlemen, and I use that term loosely. Cigar Nights for Vets started off as just kind of a congregating as a good idea. Hey, let's get an adult beverage, or just a regular drink, what have you, and a cigar, and let's just enjoy each other's companies. But as you've seen, it's progressed, it's grown, it's evolved, and it's become a movement. And now you're not just in Houston doing this. You're in what other cities?
We're in Austin and San Antonio.
Yeah, so you're doing this on Thursday evenings of every month.
So, well, we got the first Thursday here in Houston.
Okay.
At Little Jay's Bar.
So first Thursday of every month.
Right, here in Houston.
Little Jay's Bar.
On San Antonio, it'll be the third Thursday of every month, which is Bar America.
Mm-hmm.
And then Austin is the third Friday of every month.
Ah, okay, that's right. It's
at Brass
Friday.
House.
Okay.
So, and we have all this information also on our website, too.
And that website is cn4v.org. And it is the number 4. And real quick, we've got a caller. You guys got time to take a call?
Sure.
All right. It sounds like I think we've got Carson on the line. Carson, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Oh, well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate you listening into the show. What's your topic for calling in today?
Well, I've been listening to y'all out there. I've got a call.
Hopefully it's a good call.
I belong to a cigar club in Tikrit, Iraq, and I understand Mr. Garcia was in Tikrit in 2005, I think, to 2006.
Yes, sir.
And I was there 2006, 2007. Now, I'm a Vietnam vet, so I was working as a civilian for KBR over there.
Oh, I know you are very well.
It was absolutely awesome. I joined, we had Army, Air Force, and I think maybe a Navy guy. Anyhow, we'd sit out on the back porch in the evening after work hours and light up either a cigar or a pipe. And it was absolutely terrific for a Vietnam vet to sit with those guys and to share. But the thing of it is, while I was in Iraq, I was down in Tacuba, and I raised a son who became a Marine, and I lost my Marine.
I was sorry to hear about
that. But the third ID was at Camp Warhorse at that time, and they made it possible for me to escort my son home.
Oh, wow.
And I tell you what, this is hard. For our vets coming back, I tell you, my heart, I can't reach down deep enough to explain how I feel about that. But anyhow, especially with the holiday coming up, the 4th of July, our independence. I mean, my goodness, what a price, what a gift we have that these guys have given.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Carson.
Yeah, you mentioned John Boyster. I knew John before he was with Lone Star Vets.
Oh wow! Okay.
Absolutely terrific guy. I have the Texas Fallen Heroes Memorial Wall.
Okay.
Do you set up at the rodeo?
Pardon me?
Do you set up at the rodeo?
I have. I set up at the rodeo. I've set up. I didn't last year, but I set up at the Pasadena rodeo also.
Okay. Well, then I'm sure you've passed cross paths with quite a few of our members and what have you.
Oh yeah. I know quite a few of the Lone Star Vets.
Well, good deal. Carson, first of all, thank you for your service. We really think very highly of our Vietnam veterans. You guys got a raw deal coming home. I don't know if that ever gets made up, but I know whenever I get a chance, I had 2 Vietnam vets on here 2 weeks ago. Think the world of them. Their company, speedyfood.net. I hope they're listening in, Ron and Bill. But you guys, thanks for calling in. We've got another caller I need to go to. But Carson, reach out to me on Lone Star Veterans website. It's rob at lonestarveterans.org. I'd love to be able to follow up with you, and we're very sorry to hear about your son. Glad that you were able to escort him home, and God bless you both for the service that you've given. But
okay.
Carson,
I will make it to a cigar night.
I think you should.
We look forward to seeing you there, sir.
Yeah, Thursday of next week, I believe. So
July 7th.
I will be there.
Fantastic. We look forward to seeing you there.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, I think the next caller we've got is Bill. And Bill is also one of our illustrious Vietnam veterans, if I'm not correct. Bill, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me fine?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for being a listener. Bill, what can we do for you today?
Yeah, well, I've been in ministry for a number of years, and I'm not in full-time ministry now, but one of the things that I have found out, I'm now collecting my Social Security and everything like this, so all of a sudden I started looking, Social Security disability. And all of a sudden I find out that veterans who are disabled, they can, with that award letter going on Social Security, and they can collect simultaneously their Social Security disability. They can get their Medicaid if they're under age 65. and they can get there because you already I was studying this thing. Wow, this is fantastic. I was looking. It said you already have a federal agency that has declared you somewhat disabled, even though it's percentage-wise. I'm collecting 60% right now. I'm going for the 100% too. And so I just want to pass it on and let them know. And I just found out recently, last month, some guy says, I'm getting SSDI. I said, what's that? He says, well, I worked for so many years, and I became disabled, but I put a lot of money into the Social Security Fund, so I'm getting more than what somebody else who is not disabled. But, of course, it depends on the degree of disability. If you're 100%, I've been a guy that had he can't work.
Hey,
he had
Bill,
a put in his heart.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I've only got about 5 seconds before we have to take our next
anyway,
break. But how can our listeners get in
Medicaid.
touch? Yeah, how can our listeners get in touch with this information?
Just contact their congressman.
Got it. All right, Bill, thank you for calling in. I do appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our last little break here coming up, but when we come back, we'll close out with Doc and Carlos. We'll talk. Stay tuned, and we hope to talk to you in here in just a little bit.
The experts at Web.com want to build your business a successful website for free, just like we did for these current Web.com customers.
We've looked at other website designers. There's nobody better than Web.com.
Web.com can build your website in as little as 7 days free. Plus, we'll promote it on all the major search engines. If after 30 days you're happy, we'll continue to provide promotion, hosting, support, and maintenance, all for one low monthly fee. If not, cancel and pay nothing.
If you're in business and you don't have a web presence, you won't be taken seriously.
Call right now and you'll also get a free .com or .net domain name for your new website, powered by VeriSign, the world's leading domain name provider.
No upfront charge for site build, after which ongoing fees apply. Rights to site are relinquished when canceled. Domain included during active service, after which fees apply.
Call 855-719-3094, 855-719-3094, 855-719-3094. That's 855-719-3094.
This is Albert Mohler for Townhall.com. Did Jesus have a wife? If you were to believe the publishing arm of the Smithsonian Institution, you'll be led to believe that such a position was at least viable based on contemporary scholarship. Until last week, that is. We were told back in 2012 that the entire theological world had changed when Karen King of the Harvard Divinity School published her findings about an ancient papyrus manuscript fragment written in Coptic that had been found indicating that Jesus might have had a wife. The problem? The scrap was a forgery. Writing in The Atlantic last week, Ariel Sabar, using investigative techniques that should have been available to just about anyone in the world of scholarship way back in 2012, traced the document to a man who in all likelihood had actually been the forger. The man was located in Florida, where it turns out the man was a major pornographer. It confirms what I wrote back in 2012 when the story emerged. This is actually sensationalism masquerading as scholarship. I'm Albert Mohler.
A rabbi, a priest, and a pastor had a radio show.
No, it's not a joke. It's a show of faith. Heard every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. on AM 1070 The Answer. Listen each week as Rabbi Stuart Federow, Reverend David Capes, and Father Mario Arroyo violate the laws of social graces intentionally, discussing both politics and religion. Call in and join the discussion. A show of faith. Good-hearted interfaith communication Sundays at 7 p.m. on AM 1070. The Answer.
The Hugh Hewitt Show on AM 1070. The Answer.
It's Hugh Hewitt on the next Hugh Hewitt Show. The Sunday show's chewed over the Brexit decision. England is England again. The United Kingdom may not stay united. We'll cover all the fallout on the next Hugh Hewitt Show.
We need to talk about everything. Stay tuned, America. Keep it right here for the Hugh Hewitt Show.
On AM 1070, The Answer.
The Hugh Hewitt Show. Weekday mornings at 5. Right before Sam Malone at 7 on AM 1070. The Answer.
Okay, this is our final segment of the hour for Lone Star Vets. I'm your host, Rob Paiva, and I've had joining me here in the studio today, we've got Brandon Doc Buttry and Carlos Cigar Man Garcia. Gentlemen, thank you both for coming out and joining us today. And really quick, before we wind things down, I want to make sure that we get the message out for Cigar Night for Vets. When's the next one? When can everybody who's listening in, men and women, and veterans and family members, feel free to come out? But when is the next event coming up?
Our next one will be Thursday, July 7th at Little Jay's Bar. Address will be 5306 Washington Ave. This is going to be our 4th of July celebration type event, so it's going to be good.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's going to be a little...
Oh, it's always a lot of fun.
Oh, there's no doubt.
There's new memories created every night. But the event does run from 6 to 9, so we'll be there and we'll see you there.
All right, 6 to 9, Thursday, July 7th at Little J's Bar on Washington Avenue. Guys, look it up. Come on out and join us. It's been, I don't know, I've been out there. It seems like we've had 50, 60 people. There's been sometimes it's been 25,
There's been over
35.
100 sometimes. So.
Yeah, oh yeah. No. I've seen the photos.
I think memories are made and they're taken away that night, too.
Well, we don't take any memories away. We want to keep them going a little bit.
We keep everybody safe. We get them home like a Uber driver. Or somebody will take you home. Mm-hmm. There's always a DD. Somebody will get you there. But, hey, I want to send shout-outs to a good buddy of mine, Chili from Chili Off the Grid, a TV show that's on Sportsman Channel. He got me in touch with a really good Texas country singer. His name is Adam C. Martin. You can find him on YouTube. And he's part of Blackbird Anthem.
Blackbird Anthem.
Blackbird Anthem.
Okay.
That's the group. And it's got some really good stuff pushing out. As a veteran, I like to see guys rise to the top. And he's done some stuff for Lone Survivor Foundation. So
okay. I think we know those fellas.
Yeah, a little bit. Try and help a brother kind of shoot up. So if you can, check that guy out. Listen to some of his stuff. It's good. It's good stuff. It's motivation.
Good deal. Thanks for putting that out. All right. As we wind up the show, I hope you guys enjoyed today's topic. I know we enjoyed having Carlos join us. Carlos is quite a staple in the veteran community here in Houston. I run into you probably at least once a week, right?
Somewhere.
So it seems.
Somewhere.
And now that we're in the Combined Arms building, it seems like we're seeing one another a lot more, and that's refreshing. Well, okay, as we're coming to a close, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us one more time and for another week on show number 6 is now in the can, as they say in this industry.
Tell your friends.
And we hope that you keep listening in every Sunday from 6 to 7 p.m. Thank you and good night.
Lone Star Vets, where vets come to be motivated, inspired, and empowered. For information, contact us at lonestarveterans.org. That's lonestarveterans.org. Or call us at 281-744-7972. That's 281-744-7972. And join us next week for Lone Star Vets at 6 p.m. right here on AM 1070, The Answer.